Hello, second grade. Can I tell you how excited I am for our work today? We're going to have some fun. We get to actually have some different answers. So I'm really excited to see what we all come up with. Let's go ahead and look at our learning target so we can jump right on in. I can solve word problems. That's it. I can solve word problems. Not two-steppers. We're going to be using some pretty big numbers, but we're not having to think about two steps. Now we are having to think of some things that are super important, and they're almost like rules we have to follow. We're going to be thinking about place value a lot today, and how place value can help us make predictions and use some problems to solve others. So hold on to your hats, my friends. Let's take a peek. We're going to be reading about a gentleman named Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea is working in a bakery and is taking an order for cookies. Here's the order. So ring, ring, ring. Hello. Hello, I need to order some cookies to be baked. Okay, and what can I get you? And this is what the person said. I need between 400 and 500 cookies. Say what? I need chocolate chip, peanut butter, and oatmeal. And most importantly, I must have the same number of each cookie. Now say that with me, second grade. Ready? What are the rules? What is the order? We need to have between 400 and 500 cookies. All three flavors, chocolate chip, peanut butter, and oatmeal. The same number of each cookie. So can I have like 100 chocolate chip, 200 peanut butter, and then like, I don't know, 150 oatmeal? No, I cannot. They have to be the same number. Could I have 100 of each? 100 chocolate chip, 100 peanut butter, 100 oatmeal? Why not? Because if I did 100 and 100 and 100, what would that equal? That'd be only 300 cookies. Does that follow one of my rules? It follows this. I have all three flavors. I have the same number of each cookie. 300 is not between 400 and 500. That means it can be 400. It can be 500. It can be 482. But it cannot be 399. It cannot be 501. It has to be between 400 and 500. So could I have 200 of each? 200 chocolate chip, 200 peanut butter, and 200 oatmeal? No! That would be 600 cookies, and we can't have more than 500. Oh, Lordy be. Are you ready for this? I want you to take some private think time and see if you can figure out how many cookies could we have of each. Now, there's more than one answer. In fact, you and every single person in this room and at home could come up with a different answer. Now, do I think some of our answers are going to be similar? I do. But they could all be different because there's more than one answer. So when you have one way and you've proven it to me, you may see if you can come up with another way. Okay? And if you're at home and you want to pause me so you can get as many answers as you want, you can do that. Okay? I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to come up with at least one way. That means you'll have one. You may have more than one, but you're going to have at least one to share with the group. Ready? Let's go ahead and get started. What are you trying to find out? Okay, so what's a number you could start with? What are you thinking? 100 doesn't work and 200 doesn't work, so what could you do? Okay, 120. And so what would happen if you had 120 of each cookie? How could you prove it? All right, go check it. What are you thinking? Ooh, why 125? Would you have enough if you had 125? How do you know? Oh, because 3/4 is 75 cents. Then your hundreds is only 300. Would that be enough? No. Is your 120 going to be enough? No. So what do we need to do? Go bigger, okay? So what would be your next choice? Would be your next choice? Okay, you're starting with 150. Why 150? Okay, because 250s make 100, so that would get you to 400, because you have your 300s and then you have a 400. Ooh, so what would that be total? Ooh, I like 152. Why did you choose that number? Just for fun? Okay, and what did you find? Is it more than 400? Is it less than 500? Then does it work? Do all of you, do you have the same amount of cookies for everybody? All right, we have lots of choices here at home. Pause me if you're not ready. We're gonna go ahead and start sharing, and you might be adding to this later. All right, start us off. Talk to me about what you did first, and I love this, because we're gonna have some really good conversation. We're gonna have our yays and our nays, because we wanna talk about our problem solving, okay? So tell me what you said. Okay, so you thought maybe 120 of each. Just pick that number. And so when you did 120 of each, what did you find? Okay, so you had your 300. Okay, and then you added your 10s. 20, 40, 60. And what does that equal? 360. Is it enough? No, it is not. Oh my goodness. Somebody else chose 125, and they said, I love this connection. They said what? 3/4 makes 75 cents. But the 300s only, or the 300s makes 300. That is not enough. But I love that you're thinking about that number 25 and thinking about the quarters of 25 cents. That's such a smart tool. Such a smart way to think about our work. So that would not work. Okay, but we had some that did work. What did you say? And where did you come up with 150? Okay, so when you did 150, you said, well, I know 50 and 50 makes 100. So you had your 300, you had your 100, and then you still had 50 left over. So that made 400, and then 50, which made 450, and that was a go. Yay. Okay. What about yours? Okay, so you had 140. Now 125 didn't get us there, did it? So will 140 get us there? Tell me how you know. Okay, so you said 300. Then you had 80. Okay, so you're adding these 40s together, and then you had 40 more. Okay? And that was, oh, I see what you did. So 80, you made 100 here, so you had 300 and 100, and you still had 20 left over. Ooh, I like how you're decomposing those 10s. And that got you to 420, so that one was a go. Ooh, okay. Let's share 2 more that were a go. All right. What did you have? I liked that one. What was it? 152. This one, we really had to be thinking about our place value, didn't we? Okay, so you had your 100, You had your 150 with your 50s. 50 is 100. 50 more is 150. And then you had 6. And what did you find? That was it wasn't 100. It was 300. Oh, Miss Baker's brain. So that was 456. Does that work? It does. I noticed that most of you, though, and I chose to share this one because most of you didn't do a whole lot with many ones. A lot of them were sticking to our tens and our hundreds. So changing the tens and the hundreds place, but not changing our ones place very much. But one of our friends did, and I want to bring that up. So you did 155, very similar to my friend who did 152, right? Now, okay, so talk me through it. Okay, so very similar. You had your 300. You had 100. You had 50. Oh, you were adding, kind of breaking it down a little bit more. And you had 5, 10, 15. Because those 3 5s are 15. Okay, so you had 65 with those two, and you had 400 with these. So that was 465. Now, can I ask you a question? We had our 25s here, right? And even though it didn't get us to 400, it still had a 5 in the ones place, right? And this one's a 5 in the ones place. We have 5, 10, 15. All of these with those solid hundreds and tens just have what in the ones place? They have a 0, okay? So I have a challenge question for you. Those are amazing. Are there more ways? Absolutely. Give me a hand if you had another way that we didn't share. If I had room for all of them, I would show them, okay? What if Sweet Tea decided that he was going to make 405 cookies total, okay? 405. So let's write that equation. We know that he has to have what? He has to have between 400 and 500. He has that, right? He has to have chocolate chip, peanut butter, and oatmeal. Chocolate chip, peanut butter, and oatmeal. But he must have the same amount for each cookie. Now, before we get started on this, Ms. Baker kind of made this one up on her own because I really wanted to challenge you. Because I was thinking about all these problems we've been doing with 2-steps and how sometimes we don't know the answer, but we can figure it out because we have all the parts. And I thought it might be kind of fun to know the answer, but not know the parts and figure that out, right? Yeah. So, what do you think, how many of each cookie could he make? But more importantly, how could we use some of these ways to help us? Okay, so we knew that 125 was not enough. Okay, we knew that 130 was not enough because we had 30, 60, 90. Yeah, that one's not up here, but I know that somebody was doing that one out and about. 140 is enough, okay? But look at that number. Okay, so then our mystery number has to be what? It has to be less than 140. It has to be more than 130. 130 wasn't enough, but 140 was too much. What else do we know that it has to have if it's 405? Go back to what Ms. Baker was just pointing out about our ones place. Push them in front of you, tell me when you think that you know. Can we have a 0 in the ones place to help us solve this? Will our number have a 0 in the ones place? Why not? Because there's a 5 in the ones place here. So if we had zeros there, that wouldn't make 5. So I want you to think, oh, I'm seeing some people, go. I think some friends think they know it. See if you can prove it. Go. What do you think it is? Why do you think it's that number? More than 130, less than 135, or what, less than 140, but it has a 5 in the ones place. Okay, what do you think? You agree? You overheard me talking to somebody else? What do you think at home? Shall we prove it? Okay, so I have some friends that think they know what this is. Oh man, what do you think it is? Let's show it on our hundreds, tens, and ones. I'm seeing some wiggle waggles. All right, let's keep proving it. All right, so I had the same amount of both, right? Chocolate chip, peanut butter, oatmeal. How many of you showed it using your base 10 blocks? I'm liking seeing friends prove it in different ways. That's wonderful because we can write our equations all day, but I like seeing these different ways too. Okay, so what did you find? Okay, group that. That was 10. So you added a 10 over here. Okay, so that's 30, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So what did you do? Okay, and what did you find? You have you have 4 hundreds, sorry. 4 hundreds. You have 0 tens. And you have 5 ones. What numbers represented with 4 hundreds, 0 tens, and 5 ones? So how many cookies would we make of each? I shouldn't say we. Sweet tea makes me hungry for some cookies. 135 cookies of each to make 405 total. Now, friends, I have to tell you, your homework that you're gonna, or not homework, your independent practice that I'm gonna be working on today is fun. It's with these cookies too, but it's all, I'm gonna read it out loud to you because we have a few more minutes before I have to say goodbye. He's packing his cookies in an order of 145 chocolate chip cookies, just chocolate chip this time. The pictures show his boxes. You know how you get boxes of cookies and they all have different sizes? Like, I like a big box, at least 12. But some people are really good and they only get like a box of 1. Okay, there's different size boxes. And there's even bigger boxes if you're having a party. Okay, so you have boxes of 5, 10, 20, 25, 40, and then even 60. Okay, so it is asking you, again, just like our work today, there's going to be more than one answer. You can look at the different size boxes and each box holds a different number of cookies. How could he pack the cookies? He has 145. How would you pack them? Would you pack 60 here and 40 here? Would you pack like 5 boxes of the 20 boxes? How would you group these? So you get to be creative when you think about this. This is the page you're going to use to do the work today. I'm so excited about the work you've been doing, friends, and I'm even more excited seeing you use these strategies we've been using all year long. Kiss your brains. You're so smart. I will see you again next week. Happy solving!